It is today, the 11th of January. I am joined by MYTH's, well, not new top laner, quite a similar top laner for a change. Think about that one for a while. I'm joined by Sprotte. Sprotte, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing wonderful. And here's the thing. It was first of all, I want to thank you for your time because, well, I mentioned before, it was quite short notice, and you made time regardless in a very busy schedule, just a few days before the season starts. Just to remind everyone, it's the 11th of January. Everything that happens afterwards will not be talked about because that is happening in the future. Sprotte, introduce yourself to people watching. Who are you?
Yeah, I'm Sprotte. I'm the top laner for MYTH Esports in the Winter Split 2026. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Germany. Um, and besides League of Legends, I still do apprenticeship as freight forwarder. So yeah,
Lovely business. And you are with Myth, and before that, you were dabbling in Div 2s. But tell me, how did you end up joining Myth? Because that came all the way in Summer Split, if I recall correctly.
yes, it's correct. I was joined by MYTH after tryouts, like after I won the Greek Division 2.
Mm.
Myth contacted me if I want to try out for them. And then I had a couple of tryouts, and then I got chosen to be the top laner, which I was very happy about because I got a big chance in a good league and then a good team. So
Yeah, it is pretty wonderful. But when you got in, Myth was on. Well, they had four top laners in three splits. Was that something that worried you when getting on board?
I was not really worried about because I know what I'm capable of, and I think I showed it very good. So nothing to worry about. And it says something that they at least chose me again for this next split. So maybe not so many top laners next year.
Yeah, no, I mean definitely because I mean by now you have been sticking around longer with Myth than your previous three colleagues all together. And why do you think that is? Why did Myth decide to keep you on for this year as well?
I think I had last year was my rookie year in the Division One, and overall, I think I did a pretty good performance. I most likely could handle every top laner, even like top laners like Whip were like hard but not unbeatable.
Mm.
And for a rookie and like of the position I played, I think I can just play better because I'm now known for doing those things.
And when you're saying about known for being for those things, what kind of things are you talking about?
I mean, solo killing enemy top laners, no?
I mean, you are correct. I just had to hear you say it because I think really when our top lanes have been tame, I think you could say. I think we have a lot of respectful top laners that will just try and live and let live in the top lane. But I think you kind of shake things up just a little bit, and not only on the brawling champions, you'll gladly knock someone's teeth out with a tank.
I mean, tanks are more like the assassins, so not a problem.
Now, I was wondering with the new lineup of Myth coming together. I've talked to both Ferrari and to Thomas, to Tom Sonic, and they kept hammering on like this foundation of you, Ferrari, and Frankie. That was like the core of the team that they want to build around, and that was their departure point for the future of Myth. And I was really wondering, how do you look at that trio of the little triple threat package that Myth has gotten themselves?
I think what is different to like last split with this trio is like everyone can set up for the other and like not someone set ups only for one person. So it's just
Mm.
like depending on drafts, like Ferrari can be the carry, Frankie can be the carry, I can be the carry, and we can play these setups champs, but we also play the carry champs, which makes us like very flexible in drafts, which is kind of good.
Did you say that Ferrari can play the carry as well?
I think you can. why couldn't he?
I mean,
So
most people see him as a more of a supporting type jungler, right? Setting up his team players for success. How would Ferrari carry a game in your eyes? Like when you like, oh, like this game, it's all Ferrari.
I mean, it's depending on draft. I mean, Ferrari is like a jungler who has a big champion pool, so why shouldn't he like carry with champions that are like in the meta? So I think he has good options. Like, and even with setup champions, he can carry. Like J4 is like
True.
also a carry champ. So
Yeah, we've definitely seen enough carrying Jarvans in the jungle, just almost going like these partially lethality bruiser builds, just blowing up backline like it's nobody's business. Now, when we're looking at what's ahead of us and the new season, have you been? I mean, it's pretty fresh new season. Have you been getting any? Have you been getting enough time to really enter prepared for the new split on a new season?
I'm pretty. Uh, I would say I know what's going on. So I'm prepared enough to know what I do for top lane and what I need to do in the game to like win games.
And not anything specific to give away, but the new season. In my experience, a very limited experience, it has felt very active. Like there's always something to do on the map, something to fight over, something to set up. How have you been experiencing that from a top laner's point of view?
I would say, yeah, it's like very explosive season. I mean, very much is happening, and even top laners is like no more happening because you're like allowed to play combat summoners instead of only TP because you get TP later. So it will be interesting how this will be shown in competitive.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that because I mean we have seen I think more combat heavy champions already peek through just a little bit, and if that depends on their kit, might be generously tuned like Zahen, or that it's really a shift in the meta is something I can't wait to find out. I will not be questioning you on that or asking you to give any of that away. However, I am wondering. I do feel like when a team starts to get snowballing, it feels more difficult to get back in the game because there is so much more on the map to take away from the enemy team. What is your experience regarding snowballing in the game?
Uh, Experience in solo queue, I would say, yeah, it's very hard. Like, that if you get behind on top lane, it's like you're at some point 3 levels behind because of the quest, which is kind
Mm-hmm.
of annoying to play against. Um, and if ADCs get ahead, like they have a lot of gold, and like even if you get ahead on top lane, let's say you're still 2 items behind of ADCs. So it's difficult to say how it will be appearing in competitive, but yeah, it's kind of harder of the quests, but because objectives are also harder to play.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think there can be comebacks potential.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, like the core gameplay hasn't changed that much, right? I think the shutdowns also have become really impactful because as team gets snowballing harder, it's easier to get the shutdowns as well and claw your way back like that. However, you were mentioning solo queue, but have you been having that same experience in competitive play as well when you're
Uh,
scrimming or?
I would say in competitive, I mean, we had games where we also could come back, but there were also storms. So I'm not sure yet how it will go, but I think both things are possible. I wouldn't say that games are like done after 20 minutes or 25 minutes. I would say 30 to 35 minutes is like usual game time.
I think that's pretty in line with what we had last season as well. Now, you were talking earlier about the fact that there are so many carries on Myth's lineup. And I am wondering because Frankie is also, at least to me, and known as one of the few more supportive mid laners, like a player that is not afraid to sacrifice little bits in his own lane to set up his team for success. Now, with the introduction of Bunny Beast in the bot lane, how do you think the attention will be spread between bottom and top?
I think like both is possible. I think Bunny is fine to weak side. I'm fine to weak side. I think we're like very flexible in these things and in drafts as well. I think Bunny can like carry games very good, but I can do it as well. So I mean, we just look at draft and then see what happens.
Is there a certain angle that we can expect from you? And you don't have to give away the details, but how many carry performance are we going to see from you in just winter alone?
I hope every game, to be fair. I mean, just make your weak side to your strong side alone, so it's fine.
Now, I was wondering because the way you guys at Myth finished Summer Split was quite devastating, right? You ended the season by being reverse swept by Once Upon a Team, who you had been dominating all year long. Now, when you're playing from home and you're on such a high stakes match and it's game 5 and the Nexus falls, what are the comms like after that match?
I mean, there were like comms of like, okay, we did fine. It happens, I would say, but overall, we all knew that it shouldn't have had happened after we were like 2-0 ahead. Like a reverse sweep always hurts more than like, let's say it's always one team wins, then the next game the other team
It's more
wins.
painful. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially as it was my first best of 5 series, it was kind of hurtful. But yeah, I think after all, we know that we were kind of a rookie team. So it we did a solid performance, but we all knew that we could have gone further.
I mean, on the upside, right? If this is your first best of 5, it's only up from here, right? It can only get better.
True, true,
but
true.
but even in the days afterwards, did you guys review that best of 5 or was it when the season was over? Let's just move past it.
I think at least me as player, we watched the series at least, so,
Mm,
so I knew why we lost and stuff
mm.
because I was still thinking about it. But overall, as a team, we didn't review because we didn't know what happens next split. So yeah.
Fair enough. And now we have been there have been some last minute switches in the coaching staff at Myth right before the season is about to start. How now I was talking about Ferrari with it, and he said, well, even though it was kind of a disappointment to hear, we kind of moved on from it relatively quick with Wolf taking the new head coach position. How was that experience for you as a player?
I mean, we as player were not really worried about because like Wolf was there before and we know what he's capable of. So like not the biggest problem and we as players are also like willing to learn and learn for ourselves, I would say. So we all get like going to the next step very easily.
Mm-hmm. And when you are when we're sticking with the coaching staff, right? Tom Sonic entering this year and also being a major advocate for you, Frari, and Frankie as well. How have you been experiencing his impact on the team? Because he's not necessarily a gameplay coach, but more of a performance coach.
Yes, I mean, like it's good to have him in the team. I mean, every time when you like feel down, I mean, he's trying to help us. He's also trying to help our schedules to like be prepared for these match days and stuff. That we are like ready, that we are like fit enough to play, and that we can bring our best performances.
And what does he do literally? Like how does he achieve that?
I mean, like we are just talking with him about like let's say routines we have on
Mm-hmm.
different days, let's say scrim days or like days where we have no scrims and how our sleep's going, how we can fix that we sleep enough, or that we like also be healthy enough to just bring our best, like let's say in kinds of how we are eating and stuff.
Mm. Has there been a concrete lesson for you where like, oh, I didn't know that by changing this routine or this habit, it would impact my performance on the Rift so much?
I would say that like 1 or 2 hours of sleep was for me like not really a thing because I was like, okay, I sleep 6 hours, I'm still like feeling ready on the day when I wake up. But like after I changed that a little bit and slept like 2 hours more, it's like so much easier to play.
And sometimes it is like when you look at it in hindsight, it seems very obvious, but sometimes you just need that little push to try it and then see the effects. And I'm very glad to hear that it is having it is making an impact on not only you but the gameplay as well. Now, I am wondering what, because we have heard the expectations for Myth for 2026, and also about how perceived difficulty for winter split alone. How are you looking at the winter split? What do you think is a realistic expectation to have from Myth in winter split?
I mean, we need to see how it's going. I mean, the format in the for the group stage is like kind of different. I would say there's everything that can happen, but I think everything is possible next split. I wouldn't make a hot take, I would say, because that would be like getting thrown back to me when it's not happening. So, but I think we have good chances to stay on the top.
Yeah, because you have been together for a little bit longer than most of the other teams, and especially considering how quick the winter split is going to be played out at, right? 8 games in the first week, or 7 games in the first week. That is a significant amount of games, and they're all for your seeding in phase one or either phase two. Now, have you been given the opportunity to scrim any of your direct competitors?
We didn't scrim any of our direct competitors because I mean it's best of one, and if we like playing best of threes and like fearless in
Mm.
scrims, it's like you show people too much what you can play. You have 3 different options to play, and they all know it then and can prepare against it. So it's like not that good.
Fair enough. But when you are, you have been working together, your comps are hopefully at a point where I would say maybe synced up together more nicely than some of the other teams you'll be playing against. Do you think that might be the hidden edge that Myth has over the other teams? The fact that your team play will be more synergistic?
I would say, yeah, I mean, like competitive League of Legends is always about macro, about moving about the map and stuff. And if you're like better in that and communicating that, it's easier to play because less mistakes happen than in other teams that are like not that good in communicating.
And when you look at the rosters that you'll be playing against, is there a certain top laner that you're very excited to face? A top laner that's like, man, if I can own him in lane and then beat them in the team fights, that'll make my week.
I would say like there's one exciting team which is like threats. So if Nuke and me playing against each other, I think it will be an interesting matchup. And I'm still here to like get in the footsteps of Whip with like showing that I can be the best top laner in the league.
Well, definitely. And when you do mention it, have you played against him before? Do you know him at all, or
Maybe sometimes in solo queue. I didn't play it against him in competitive. So
and is there what makes him such a challenge, like the pedigree of challenger that he is? Where does that come from? Is there a specific aspect that makes him stand out above the other players?
I mean, it's just like the kind of team he has. And I would say if he is like on a higher level, he is joining this team. On a lower level, I think he wouldn't because this team is kind of stacked, I would say. So I
Definitely.
think he needs to be a good top laner, and I'm just excited.
Well, Sprotte, that definitely makes two of us. Now, is there anything that you want to get off your chest before you will be diving into the new season?
I would just say we proved the haters wrong.
Pardon?
We proved the haters wrong.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The tier lists are not kind to Myth. And it makes no sense to me because then the players are rated pretty well, And then I think there are definitely some opinions that may be lasting from previous year. So I am really, really excited to see how you will perform on the Rift, and I really hope to see you perform at your absolute best. Sprotte, thank you so much for your time. I think I'll be letting you go now, as you have a long day ahead of you. Thank you so much for your time, and best of luck in the rest of the weekend.
Thank you. It was no problem. It was nice to be here.
My pleasure.